very strong now. After the Supreme Court judgment, Rahul is very strong now. He will lead the India allies.
So can we see him in the parliament in the upcoming days? You're hopeful with that as well, because now the Supreme Court has put a stay on the conviction.
Yes, because we already told this Rahulji's in the Surat Court judgment. After that, Gujarat High Court observation also. The one side is we already told, but now Supreme Court observation is in favor of Rahul Gandhi. Now we are very happy. We welcome the Supreme Court judge.
Sir, the Supreme Court has also made certain observations on the verdict which was being given by Gujarat High Court, as they have mentioned that there was no specific reason which has been given for giving the highest level of punishment in a defamation case.
Yes, that details our official spokesman will give you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So that was the Congress Party's Lok Sabha MP K. Suresh speaking Times to, and he has mentioned that we are really happy with the verdict which has been given on the part of the Supreme Court of India. This is a big relief for the Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, and that is the reason why the Congress Party is also welcoming this verdict which has been given on the part of the Supreme Court of India. You can see in the visuals as well that the celebration is already started at the AICC headquarters. There are a number of workers who have gathered here at the ground inside the AICC headquarters. They are continuously raising slogans in favor of the Congress leader Rahul Gandhi. Many of them are also wearing the mask of Rahul Gandhi, and they are really happy and they are celebrating the victory which the Congress leader Rahul Gandhi has got in the defamation case which was being filed against him regarding the Modi Surname Defamation.
All right, live reactions that have been coming in, and this also becomes all the more interesting because here Rahul Gandhi is, as far as restoration of his membership is concerned, that has now been done. Because Nyamika, as you've been speaking to a lot more people there on ground, and Harish, if you can help us understand the legal way, because right after that he was, convicted, or rather when he was announced the maximum punishment, he was immediately disqualified. Now that there has been a stay on the disqualification, it doesn't mean that his membership has been immediately restored as well. He will now join the parliament proceedings.
Yes, Amita. Now the ball is in the court of the Lok Sabha Secretariat and the Speaker, and we have to wait and watch how fast the Lok Sabha Secretariat will act, and the Lok Sabha Speaker will have to intervene if there is a delay. Remember, in fact, the Lok Sabha Speaker had issued a notification. We have to go as per the Section 8(3) of the Representation of People's Act, which says that once MLA or MP, lawmaker, representative of the people, is convicted for more than 2 years, that person stands automatically disqualified. In that, there is no role of a Lok Sabha Secretariat or a Speaker. They just have to issue a notification and make it put in the public domain. But disqualification is automatic. But now, once the Supreme Court has lifted the stay, now it's up to the Secretariat or the Speaker to bring out a notification lifting the disqualification, and only after that Rahul Gandhi will continue to become a Lok Sabha member. It all depends on how fast the Lok Sabha Secretariat issues or the Lok Sabha Speaker issues a notification. But there are instances where there was a delay. Remember earlier, Lakshadweep MP had to move the Supreme Court seeking an early notification so that he can resume the membership, because after the Supreme Court had lifted, after the High Court had in fact stayed the sentence, the Lok Sabha Secretariat had delayed issuing such a notification. After that, he had to move the Supreme Court. But once the matter came before the Supreme Court, the Lok Sabha Secretariat immediately brought out a notification lifting the disqualification.
All right. Harish, stay with us. We also have Mr. Nalin Kohli on the phone line with us. Mr. Nalin Kohli, this is a big relief for Rahul Gandhi. He is all set to now come back as the MP from Wayanad.
Well, this is due process of law. This is the same legal process which is available to every Indian citizen. Mr. Rahul Gandhi was convicted by a court. Thereafter, in his appeal, that conviction was not stayed by the appellate court. The Honorable High Court was pleased not to give him that relief He's come before the Honorable Supreme Court. The Honorable Supreme Court has given him that relief, but as I've gathered from the media, because I haven't seen or been part of that proceeding, it seems that he has been also warned to be more careful with his words. And if that is true, then Mr. Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party would do well to introspect and reflect on this advice, which was given even on an earlier occasion by the Honorable Supreme Court, when Rahul Gandhi ji had come before the Supreme Court to claim relief, when he had spoken on the Rafale issue, if I recall correctly. And
well, that matter was also taken up in the Supreme Court, sir. The reference was also made on the previous statements that have been made by Rahul Gandhi, sir. But Mr. Kohli, do you believe that the narrative now entirely changes just before the 2024 election, sir?
I don't see it like that. What is the narrative? The narrative is clearly that Mr. Rahul Gandhi chose to speak words that were not appropriate and he stands convicted. That conviction has only been stayed. He has to go through the entire process for that conviction first to be overturned. So as on date, and as a lawyer I'm pointing out, with no disrespect to him or anyone else, the fact of the matter is he is convicted. He's not exonerated. What he's got is a stay on the conviction. And the stay on the conviction means that he gets back, which is the pure legal process. Because why was he disqualified as a member of parliament? Is because of the amendment to the act, which is under the Congress period. And he himself had prevented the ordinance from coming in 2013, as he famously tore that paper and threw it in the dustbin, while Prime Minister Manmohan Singh was in the US. So Mr. Rahul Gandhi, as several other people before him, got instantly disqualified the minute they had a conviction of 2 years and above.
So now, sir, will his membership now be instantly also restored, sir? Because we've been speaking to Mr. Karti Chidambaram a short while back, and he's saying we will see Rahul Gandhi in Parliament on Monday, sir.
Well, the minute, these are the natural legal consequences. And every Indian citizen has the right of the legal process and the outcomes of it. So it's not about preventing A or B. As I said, Mr. Rahul Gandhi is, after all, an Indian citizen just like any one of us. You, me, anyone else. He enjoys those rights as an Indian citizen as anybody else. Now the question on what Karti Chidambaram ji has said is that he will be back in Parliament, but the larger question is, does the Congress party want Parliament to function? Because if we look at the track record of the last few days, they've gone out of their way to ensure, with other opposition parties, that Parliament does not function. So I don't know in what sense is this delight on. Is this delight that Parliament will now function because Rahul Gandhi ji has come back? Which will show that the focus is only on Rahul Gandhi, or that he will also participate in disrupting Parliament.
Right, sir. Mr. Kohli, sir, thank you very much for joining in. First, BJP reaction that we're also coming in. Ms. Priyanka Chaturvedi is also with us. Ma'am, good afternoon. How would you look at the judgment that has now been pronounced? A big,
jumping with glee when he had to exit the 12th Tughlaq Lane residence as well as stand outside the Parliament has now come undone. And the Supreme Court has done what the Parliament is now supposed to do, that you've seen him probably in this session.
And just as a follow-up to that, ma'am, a final question. Do you think this will galvanize the INDI alliance that much more in the build-up to 2024?
See, the entire India alliance, by the way, it's the India alliance. I don't know why you all painstakingly call it INDIA and waste another 10 seconds of your time. All I'd say is that we were very clear that truth will prevail, justice will be served, and it has been served, and we are very clear that people of the country saw in how arbitrary fashion this entire trial was conducted, how a sentence was pronounced, just with the intent of getting him out of the Parliament and getting him to not contest a parliamentary seat. So that has been served, and we're very certain that we will take this to the people of the country, and people of the country are understanding what BJP, the desperate measures BJP is stooping to.
All right, Mr. Chaturvedi, thank you for speaking to Times Now. We're